Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. As you can see, I have a lovely banner talking about Sydney MBS. This week, so 13th to 16th of October, you'll find me in stand C27. I can't wait to see you all there. Do book out fairly quickly, so if you're absolutely wanting a reading, I do suggest you pre-book. Otherwise, Thursday, Friday is a little bit quieter, but Saturday, Sunday, if you are getting there after lunchtime, I would definitely recommend pre-booking. So guys, I'll just let a few of you come in as the comments start to load. It's lovely to see you all. As I always say, I don't check, but it is a common courtesy. Please like my page before you ask for a reading. It is an energy exchange, so you give a little, I get a little, I give you a little, you get a little too. Other than that, guys, please remember no pregnancy, no legal, no health questions on the live feed. Please feel free to comment more than once, but please don't smash the live feed. I will literally ignore you if you do that, because it is frustrating. You know, just if you see that I've caught up with the comments and I haven't caught you there, then please feel free to comment again. So the more specific you are with your questions, the more specific I can be with your answers. I think that's about it. Alright, beautiful. Hey Susan, hello Karen, Trace, Fantasia, Jody, hello, 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 Trace, Billy. Yep, excellent. Alright, all the comments coming through. Let me just catch up to the first couple there because Susan asked first. So let me grab Susan. Hey Susan. So if you'd like the cards, ask for the cards. If I'm drawn to the cards, I'll give the cards. Otherwise, yeah, that's wrong. Alright, Susan. Susan, I want to say, it feels like, I just want to say sort of weeks, it just, even like the last 2 or 3 weeks, it just feels like there's been, I don't know, just, I see it as like a rumble coming up behind you, you know what I mean? But I want to say to you, it is just like a fart in the breeze, you know what I mean? So if you're feeling like things are sort of feeling a little bit out of whack at the moment, not to stress too much about it, and don't feed too much into it. Don't like sort of worry too much is what I'm trying to say, you know, like build the energy where it doesn't need to be built. I do feel like things are sitting okay around you. There's just a little bit of mindfulness that's sitting closely by. Let me sit with you. There's some frustrations I feel with people and relationships coming up around you as well. It feels like there's family relationships, you know, people that you deal with, maybe not on a huge regular basis, but on enough of a regular basis that you kind of sit back and almost want to avoid at times. And I want to say to you as well, it almost feels like you carry a little bit of peacekeeping energy and things like that around you, and I just want to say you're going to be faced with some of that lately apparently, but also coming up I feel as well. And I just want to say I feel like you're learning to stand more in your own space within that, kind of just sort of sit back a little bit more and go, you know what, I don't need to actually deal with this energy, and I don't need to deal with this, you know, this person as much as what I have to. And so just I want to kind of validate just stepping back into that energy and stepping back more into your own energy. And if you're a little bit reluctant to at times, just kind of remember how this person makes you feel. Okay, so when I pull your cards, you've got staying connected to yourself. So again, that's where I say I just feel like there's a little bit of a rumble around you. Okay, just keep doing what you're doing, but just make sure you don't put energy where energy doesn't need to be put right now. The crossroads that's there, so you've got decisions around you, and as I said, I just feel like you know, decisions come along, and if there is opportunities around you that are a little bit cheeky and daring, I want to actually encourage you to do that, even if it's as simple as someone saying to you, oh, I want to go to a Zumba class or something else like that, you know, just, you know, for shits and giggles even, just going through yourself, because I feel like you actually really enjoy it, and that connection that you keep building with yourself is really nice. But I feel like the crossroads is more to do with just like, as I said, decisions about what's important, what's relevant, what you're keeping hold of, all of that sort of stuff. So a lot of cleaning out energy around you. I feel like that'll kind of go on for several months, but I don't feel like it's this thing that I need to go, oh, you know, and get into. I just feel like it's positive choices that you're making along the way. Now you've got the improvement cards that sits there, which talks about self and situations, but I actually want to say to you that I am drawn to the physical around that card, and I just feel like there's been especially drawn around like the shoulders, the back, but also like the internal, even sort of down to the hips that's there. It almost just feels like things have been a bit out of whack, and I just want to say to you that I'm feeling that fall into motion as well. It's almost like a solution to a problem that's been there arises. Okay, so that's what I have for you. So I hope all of that helps, Susan. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It has been a pleasure to read for you. Please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up or a heart, at least. It does help with my algorithm. Alright, let me catch up with the comments. Mind, body, spirit is one of my favourites too, I must admit. Hey, Billy. Anything for me this morning? Thank you so much. You know, it's funny, I feel like you've kind of been leading towards a place, and perhaps they're even there at this present time, where you felt like goals and almost goals, dreams and possibilities is what's in my head, were going to come true. And I just feel like there's a little bit of a reality kick in that, along with somebody kind of letting you down a touch, okay? And it's interesting because I feel like I'm actually going forward around kind of about 12 months time. And you've got a massive spirit around you as I'm talking. You can probably see that's an older woman's energy that comes in and around you. And as you guys mostly know, I don't do mediumship online because I'll always like to give evidence and get my validation. But I am happy to sort of sit with this lady because she's quite strong in her energy that's there. And she's talking about trusting your instincts and trusting your senses when things are off, and just knowing that when you're not meant to be somewhere anymore, it is okay to move on, and to kind of trust in that. It's all going to be kind of in the timing. You know, sometimes when it's like, I guess to use almost a silly example that's there, you know, you've got a group of people, someone's at the front and they ask, you know, who wants to do this exciting task? And 10 people shoot their hand up and you don't because, you know, 10 people shot their hand up before you, and so you kind of leave it down, whereas if you put your hand up you would have gotten chosen. And so it's that kind of energy there. It's like, don't be afraid of what sits around you, don't be afraid of who's around you in this in a pool that makes you perhaps feel like you're not sitting at the top, okay? Because you've got your own unique individual stuff in amongst all of that, and sometimes I feel like you don't embrace your uniqueness enough, and I want to see that shine a little bit more. It's quite a beautiful energy that's there. It's almost like she's saying to me, you keep going forward but then you pull yourself back, okay? And so just sort of sit and reflect in that. But what I'm feeling is that you've been working towards something, and there's been people around associated with that. So I'm sitting with like work, career, energy, all that kind of stuff that's there. But it's interesting because it does have a semi-personal feel to it, so perhaps there has been some friendships forged within this. But I just feel like when I go forward, you're going to get to a certain point, but then it's going to be time to move on, okay? And it's not about things absolutely turning to crap or hard feelings or anything else like that. It's about knowing that what's best for you is what's best for you, and that what's best for you may not necessarily always be what's best for somebody else, you know. But if we make that and leave that comparison, this person grows while you stay stagnant, okay? So it will be time to shift forward. This person's still going to grow, it just means they're going to have to work a little bit harder to replace the energy you were putting in, but there will come a time. So I guess the essential message in that really is just kind of being mindful and seizing the opportunity when it comes up. Where you are right now isn't going to take you as far as where you're meant to be, but it is definitely where you're meant to be right now. I don't want to put any negative energy on it whatsoever. I want to be really mindful about that. But it's interesting, it's this really full energy, and even when I was first sitting with you, it was like I was moving through a magnet. You know what I mean? It was there's a strong energy that's there. You're definitely clicked into something and moving in a direction where you're meant to be, but just don't trust those that say that it's going to take you as far as where you want to go, because that's not the case, okay? And there's no malice in that. It's just that your journey is bigger than what even they imagine, okay? And in that heart of your desires, you know that's where you want to be. So, as I said, sit and take some reflection in that, because it usually takes a little bit of self-discipline, and it's time to pull up your socks. You know, it's funny because I was trying to see socks, like socks coming up over your knees, so that's there. So I'll leave that with you, Billy. I hope that helps. Okay. Damn it. Let me catch up with the comments. Sorry, I'm behind time. Where are we at time-wise? 8:19. Okay, not too far behind. Christine, may I have a card, please, and thank you. I feel like there's a lot of lessons around you, and as I sit and I kind of reflect on your energy, I'm just sort of hearing things about, like, we've got to go through lessons to actually learn. Like, and I know that sounds like a literal thing to say, but it's almost like we're still in that learning phase, and not to kind of feel like that everything that exists around you right now is the way that it has to be, but it's almost like it's going to be you that makes the differences and the changes in that, and there's still energy coming in and around that's going to teach you all the tools with that as well. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave it with you as I pull you some cards. Yeah. So you've got the frustration card that comes out, okay, and you can see, like, I've put a person that's like literally jumping up and down, and is probably spilling out a whole bunch of P's and Q's and F's, U's, T's, and it's about taking a breath and regrouping, and that's the thing around when I sit in your energy, very much so. It's you're like me, you like to learn the hard way, you know, and I feel like that cycle's been around, not only from situations that we cause for ourselves, but other situations that have been caused by others around you. So I don't feel like it's necessarily been like this walk in the park around for you, but you know, through that we kind of we get to a point sometimes where our self-value, our self-worth, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces aren't as strong as what they possibly could be, and we start accepting things for ourselves that aren't as great as what they could be, and it builds and it compounds, you know, and it sort of gets to a point where sometimes we feel like we've got to scramble so much mess out of the way to even get to where we want to be that it seems impossible at times. But you know, you've got this amazing energy of like of being a fighter, essentially, and seeing the light through that and seeing a path that paves through that as well. Don't mind the little tumbling blocks that come in your way. I see it as a cartoon character, you know, with big gloves on the hand, and as a block falls apart, it's like pow, 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 you know, and you go along. So they're showing me you very much will get through all the obstacles that come in your way, you know. It's just that there's still a few more that come in, okay? Have a look just in that as well. Just because your last card, and I'll jump to your middle card in a second, but being positive, you know, stay positive. Your attitude is a choice, and that's the thing around it, like the way that we choose to look at things. And I absolutely know that sometimes that takes some muster and to see that silver lining in the cloud. But you know, there is reasons and there is seasons and things like that, and as much as we hate it at times, there is always something to be learned and gained from challenges that we go through, you know. And whether we like it or not, I also like to believe sometimes that's why they're there, you know. Other times we've got to have a look at just what we enable within that, and other times we've got to have a look at what doesn't belong to us but perhaps what we're carrying. So just keep that in mind, you know. Our attitude is a choice. Think about it like a rainy day. We can walk outside and go, freaking hell, it's wet, I'm going to get wet, got this to do, blah blah blah. Or we can look at it and go, wow, you know, my garden's getting watered, and gee, it smells nice when the water hits the flowers, and you know, all that sort of bits and pieces. Be positive, always look on the bright side of life, you know. Anyway, your middle card was joy, which is peace, happiness, and harmony, and that's that beautiful thing around it, you know. It's that when I made that card, I chose the word joy because it did symbolise all of those things, peace, happiness, and harmony, and all of those things come together as a balance and as a whole. It's not just one thing, you know. And so when I sit with that card that's there, I know that there's been so much work done and so much moving forward and all of that energy that's there. So I really kind of feel like a big message for you tonight as well is just about kind of validating that you've got this amazing strength that's sitting there, and that at times, even though it feels like you're maybe not using it enough or that you're not strong enough within that I want to remind you very much that you are. Just to kind of hold strong and hold your place, and to remember what it is that you want, and not to always put everybody else's wants in front of yours. You know, I feel like at times you're actually made to feel like you're selfish or wrong for wanting to do this, wanting to do that. You know, well, what about the kids, and what about me, or what about this? You know what I mean? And it's got all the energy that comes up in front of you, and it's like, well, yeah, but hey, what about me too? You know, and you're gaining a lot of strength in actually seeing that. So that's a mouthful. I'll leave that with you, Ruth. I hope that helps. Alright. It's interesting that you chose that song as I listened to that song when I am down, as my dad chose that song at his funeral. Yeah, that's sweet, and it's nice, you know. As I said, the energies and bits and pieces like that. I'm quite enjoying tonight's live, actually. It's got, I can tell by the way my ears are sitting, that I'm surrounded by, and that's the beautiful part about channeling, and sometimes why I talk fast and dribble and all of those kind of little bits and pieces as well, because when you are connecting in just to the energy that's there, little bits and pieces like that happen, you know. So it's sweet. Take it as a nice sign from your dad watching over you, for sure. Alright. Hey, Marina, sorry. You can see that my attention's drawn sitting to the side there. You know, I just want to say, Sarah, just really quickly, okay? I'm stuck between should I travel and should I save. I want to say to you, you can find a happy medium between both, and to have a look as well, like left of field, like if we're, I don't know, like if we're booking mainstream, for example, look side stream, and perhaps sort of realising that like we've got this big thing here that we want to do, and there's this other place that's sitting there that's got like 99% of everything, and you know what I mean? I just feel like there's a little bit of a balance, and with a compromise that's just slight but still absolutely tantalising and exciting, you actually get to reach both things. And so have a look and see. I don't feel like it's about having to choose one or the other. I feel like it's about the management and the awareness behind it. So yeah, have a little bit of fun exploring, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what you can achieve. Alright, Marina. I would love a card if possible. So last I'm sitting here giggling with the cards. You've got an energy sitting around with you. When I focus in on your energy that's there, I almost want to kind of jump up and give you a hug. When I start to pull your cards, I get a tune in my head that's almost like a song that's made up, but it's yeah, and anyway, I won't sing it, it's all good. But it was a sweet song, I just want to emphasise that. But when I sit with your cards, you've got the uncertainty, okay, so you've got confusion, doubt, cloud of judgment. You've got the spirit card, and as I pulled the spirit card, you had the intention card flip out with it as well, okay, so there's always a nice sign from spirit there. Be positive, your attitude is choice. I just pulled that card out a second ago. As I said, there's always a theme of the night. Energy goes where energy flows, and it always proves so. Alright, uncertainty. And as I said, when I sit with your energy that's there, I almost feel it just like a weight on my shoulders that sits, okay? I feel like there's still some more information that needs to come in on you. I feel like you don't have a full picture on something. Oh, that's funny. That's only happened once before. Okay. I'll explain that in a second. Alright, so when I sit with your cards, I just feel, you know what it is? I feel like there's, yeah, it's not like things are wrong around you right now. It's almost like there's, our subconscious mind, right? It doesn't allow us to, it protects us. That's what it's half of what it's designed, it's not half of what it's designed to do, it's part of what it's designed to do. And so it'll suppress memories, it will suppress emotions, it'll do its job in the background, you know what I mean? And when we move forward in life, and as we kind of connect with ourselves, we develop self-awareness, we grow healthy, things resurface, you know, and the subconscious mind will only kind of release, unless it's, you know, prompted through hypno, and that's another whole side story, but the subconscious will naturally and organically release things that we're prepared to deal with when we've got the strength to do so, you know. It's almost like, think about fight and flight and all of those kind of just biochemical reactions that our body has. It's this whole amazing thing that's going on, and what I feel around you is that there's a big clear out coming on, and it's not about current around you. As I said, when I actually sit with where you are right now, there's almost like a wave of peace that sits there, you know, and it's nice. I feel like there's some nice solid support. You've got nice friends. I feel like there's, you know, probably a partner that sits there quite pleasantly as well, you know, all of just that energy that's there. But I feel like, as I said, for you, it's almost like things have been tumbling, you know. On the surface we're smiling, but underneath we're thinking and going over things and all of that energy. But I feel like there's some differentiating opinions around you as well. You know, like sometimes we might have a belief about something, and, you know, our parents or a family member or a close person near us has a very sort of opposing view to that, and it can be quite hard to communicate around that and things like that. So I just feel like you've got this basket of stuff that you're kind of sitting through and going, okay, well, it just looks like a jungled mess at the moment. You know, we pull out a junk drawer perhaps of, you know, in my mind I'm seeing beads and glittery bits and, you know, just this tangled stuff I can sit and just pull apart and sort of create. And so I would suggest to you at the moment perhaps like journaling and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there, because I feel like there's this aha moment that's sitting around with you, okay? And even if it's just a I was going to say a simple aha, there's no real simple ahas that's there, but I just feel like there's a momentum that's building up around you. There's a shift that's wanting to come into play, and as I said, I feel like when we journal, and use a pen, don't type when you journal, use a pen, okay? I feel like there's a knowledge and an awareness and a deeper kind of sense about something that wants to sit there with you. So I always want to say to you, like, I'll show you what your cards were just quickly because I've rambled on this far. So you've got the joy card that sat there as well, okay? So you've got the external conflict card, and you've also got the betrayal card that sits over there. And that's where I say, I just feel like there's some conflicting kind of energies around you, and you really need to trust in on yourself. You've got the health card that sits there, which, as you've probably heard me say before, isn't just about physical health, it's mental, spiritual, emotional health and things like that as well. And that's where I say, I feel there's this clean out that's sitting there. You're not always going to have the answers that you need. You know, sometimes the lessons are when we've got to move forward. Alright, but you've got the rainbow card that's there. So it's saying the direction that you're going is cool, you know, don't think this isn't getting you anywhere. But keep yourself nice and grounded. You're learning a lot about yourself. To pull this card, it means that you're able to sit in your truth, happiness and desires, because you actually know that. So as I said, I know you're sitting in the right path. It's almost like you toss and turn between what you want, because you've got the yes, no card, and then you've got the freedom card that sits with that, okay? So, as I said, journal, it really helps with that. But then you've got the improvements, and just to be mindful of your balance and your self-care, and that you really need to call on your strengths at the moment. So I'll leave you with all of that that's there. I hope that that helps, gives you something to reflect on, and thank you very much for joining me. Alright. Let me catch up with the time. Where are we at? 2. Alright, now caught up. Alright, Christo. Sorry, that's not Christy, it's Kirsty. Kirsty-Ann. May much needed guidance and confirmation I'm making the right choice, please. Let's see what the cards say. Yeah, nice. Yep, I feel this is something that you've wanted for a while, because you've got the self-denial card that's there, but I don't feel like you're denying yourself in this. I feel like you're actually grasping forward. You've got the joy card that sits there as well, which is a nice balance, but then you've got the balance card straight after it. So I feel like this comes with plenty of reward, but also plenty of challenge as well. Look, moving forward, everything's a learning journey and things like that. I don't feel like I need to get too far into it, just expect to be challenged, but I feel like you're out to challenge yourself, you're out to move forward and things like that. So, you know, be mindful of your self-care through that. You know it's time, and yeah, just call on your strengths within it. It's there. There's a beautiful saying, and I say it, you know, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit, okay? And it's a funny saying, but within that, it's almost, to me, what it means is not like baffling them with bullshit, but it's like, you know, just sort of trudging your way through, because you know that you've got the skills, you know that you've got the brilliance that sits there behind it, but as you fumble in those first few days, sometimes you just got to kind of, you know, baffle them with bullshit. So, you know, it's how we get through sometimes. And again, I don't mean the bullshit literally, but I think you understand what I mean. So I hope that helps. Yeah, as I said, I feel good, I feel happy when I'm sitting in your energy and things like that, but I can definitely see that there's some awarenesses and challenges, and that this is like but a step amongst the stairs too, okay? So yeah, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Thank you all. Alright. Dropping the cards. Lauren, may I have a card, please? Yes, you may. Lauren. Pay attention to extra little side incomes, and possibly even potentially big incomes that can come into play after it's a little side income. you've got some nice energy around you that sits there with that. I just don't feel like it's perhaps right this second. So that's what I say to you, like, pay attention to what's coming in and around. You know, it's funny. I guess it's one of the few times I actually pull it up. But I feel a wedding around you, and it may not be your wedding, but yeah, I feel a wedding around you. That's interesting. I wonder if it's a wedding anniversary. And if it's a wedding anniversary, I want to say to you that it's somebody in spirit. Alright, you have got, alright, so take a moment. You've got the love card that's there. You've got self-trust, support, and the detox card as well. So when I sit with your energy, I want to say to you that you've got a really nice positive energy when I sit with it. As I said, I feel good when I sit with it. I just feel like it's almost like there's a lot happening at once. So just be mindful to sort of take care of yourself. If you kind of notice in the background of things feeling good for you, and things perhaps moving in a positive direction, and you feeling good, and all of those kind of bits and pieces, and you got like this little loogie, aka usually a person sort of tugging at the back of you, not necessarily slowing you down, but not necessarily giving you the triumph that they should or the support that they should. Pay attention to that, because I don't feel like this is the first time. I feel like it's like the 10th time to do with it, and it's sometimes people for reasons and seasons and all of those kind of bits and pieces. I feel like there's quite a strong attachment that's here, so it may actually be a family tie, but just be mindful, like sometimes it's time to let go of what no longer serves, and essentially that's what that card is. And it's a volcano, and volcanoes can sit there for 100 years dormant, or they look dormant, but underneath it's bubbling and brewing and all this sort of stuff, and then eventually it explodes. So again, take it on board, but I just feel like this is a consistent pattern in the background of the more better that you do for yourself, then the more that this person's sort of lagging behind and being a little bit perhaps spiteful in their response. But that aside, there's a really nice positive strong energy around you. Definitely pay attention to that, but just be mindful to look after yourself as well. As I said, I feel like you're taking a lot on. Pay attention to ideas for you as well, okay? But I feel like those ideas, as I said, are coming in. So self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins. So I hope that helps. Thank you for joining me. Alright, what time are we at? 8:30 on the clock, so it's 8:38. Alright, let me catch up. I'm nearly 10 minutes behind the messages. Vicky. You've caught my eye a couple of times now, Vicky. Hi Elizabeth, will I get a home soon and be reunited with my pets and daughter, please, and thank you. I want to say to you, yes, I feel like perhaps, it's funny, what I wanted to say was I feel like perhaps it's close and not like little, so I'm not sure if you're wanting to live with your daughter, obviously your pets, yes, and your daughter. I feel like that's a yes as well. Pets and daughter, please. Thank you. I still want to say yes. I still want to say yes. Where's the gap? It's interesting. When I sit with the energy, I get so I'm like, yep, straight away I can sit with that. Will I get a home soon? Will I be reunited with my pets? Yep, sweet. When I sit with the and a daughter, please, I'm getting a gap. Okay, so perhaps there may be a time where you're there just beforehand. Okay, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm sitting with a huge span of time that's here. I'm wondering if it's either that or there's somebody else that's there as well. And again, it's not negative energy by any other stick. I'm just curious what this gap is that I'm picking up, because it's quite a peculiar energy, and I don't feel in myself necessarily that gap explains it, but that's the word that I've got with it. And so again, quite happy to sit here with you, yes. And when I say soon, I am feeling like 3-4, look, I'll say 5, but I really do feel like it's 3-4 months. Okay, yes, pets, and again, it feels like the pets and then the daughter, it feels like there's an order. Okay, and so I'll leave that with you, that's there. But yeah, again, it's a nice positive energy that sits around with it. Okay, Lauren. Ugh. They got jumpy cards. Alright. That's a good mix up. Alright. When I sit with your energy that's there, I feel like it's almost like you're trying to, not trying to, but that you've got a lot on your plate and you're trying to do a lot, trying to be everything for everyone. And with that, I mean it in such a nice way. Like, it just feels like you're trying to achieve so much at this point in time, and you can see even by the way when I sit into your energy that's there, I'm split into 10 different things, you know. It's like you're thinking about 10 different things all in one go, and taking a moment. I feel like there's been a little bit of letdown around you, okay, and I feel like I can what the hell was that word? I feel like I can span that over the last 12 months, let's go there. And you've got the shit happens card that sits there with it, okay, and so that's where I feel like sequential is what the word was that I was trying to get out, because I was sort of doing one thing after another, you know. And look, I can still sit here and giggle and things like that when I do the reading, so I know that you've got this. I know that you're sort of forging through, but I want to say kind of just sit in a moment that suits. I don't feel like I need to say to you, make your life all about this, but just sit in a moment that suits and just reflect on the resentments and the hurts and the little bits and pieces like that you hold, because I feel like you're kind of at a point where you may be holding on to some emotion that you're actually ready to let go of, and because you haven't necessarily sat in it for a while, you didn't quite realise, you know, or that you're seeing things from a different perspective because you've just sort of gained more inner knowledge and wisdom along your way and things like that. And it's not about kind of at any point in time saying anything was okay or anything else like that. I really kind of want to emphasise that, but it's just about you kind of being in a place where you don't need to hold on to it anymore. And so it's a pleasant energy. As I said, I can sit here and laugh and giggle as I do your reading and things like that, but I just feel like you're a lot stronger sometimes than I think than what you've realised, and you're ready to let go of a lot more. And so, you know, when we sit and we kind of go, you know what, I am ready to just sort of, you know, grab life a little bit more by the big and hairies and things like that, because you've got the bigger picture card that sits there, which talks about, you know, focusing on long term and moments just beyond sort of right now. So again, you've got this really strong energy that's there, where I just feel like there's an opportunity. When I say opportunity, I don't want to say it's like a thing that comes along. I don't feel like it's this moment that comes into. I feel like it's like I've dropped my bag of marbles and they're scattered across the floor, and I've been collecting them all up, and I've got my little sack that's there, and I've got a new sack, you know, and it's nice and strong, and my marbles ain't falling out, you know, and I'm losing my marbles, so it's funny. You've probably felt a little bit like that. But, you know, I'm holding it all and I'm getting in, and I just feel like I'm getting the last of the marbles in those bags, you know what I mean? And I can sort of be frustrated about the fact that I've had to pick them all up, or I can just sort of go, you know what, I've got a stronger bag right now, and I've learnt, you know, where not to leave them, and so I don't lose my marbles, and you know what I mean, I'm able to move forward. I hope that metaphor makes sense, but you've got a nice pleasant energy that's there. As I said, I just feel like it's time to kind of just make sure that everything in the background that is ready to be let go of actually has been given a moment to be let go of, okay? So I hope all of that helps, and I'll leave that with you. Alright, so guys, I just want to say Sydney MBS is on, so the 13th to the 16th of October. I'm also in Port Kembla the weekend after that for the Living Wellness Fair as well. That's always a fantastic event. That is 2 days. Port Kembla, you will see that the big fair is down there. It's got a name and I cannot remember the name of it, but the Living Wellness Fair is there, and so that is going to be a lovely weekend. I'll have more information on my page about that. And also MBS, as I said, from the 13th to the 16th, I'm in stand C27. You are able to do pre-bookings with me. You need to book with that on my mobile. Facebook Messenger on the business page can lag behind like 7 days, and so I do not rely on it for a prompt business communication tool, so to speak. That's a really nice way of describing what I call it. And so yeah, if you want to pre-book, text me on my mobile. Anyway, so as well, guys, just while I'm on the jibber jabber, scam alerts, okay? So every single time one of us goes live anymore, there's some you know, person with an exotic name, or somebody with the exact name as me. What a coincidence. Even looks exactly like me, creating a profile and messaging you guys, or, you know, saying freaking send me your credit card details and all the rest of it that's there. I know that I harp on about it, but it happens every single week, and time again they still come back and do it. And so it is a problem, guys. And for the simple fact of that, I'd no longer comment even on my own live feeds. I made the comment mistake a couple of weeks ago. I made a comment on one of my own live feeds, and one of you gorgeous viewers jumped straight on and went, you're fake, piss off, you know, blah blah. And I was like, shit. It is me, but thank you so much for doing that, and I should have known better. And it's a shame that I can't even comment on my own live feed, but that's the way I've had to make it, just so that it is secure for you guys. You guys don't have any doubt in your mind who's messaging. I will not comment on a live feed. I will not message you on a live feed. I will not respond to one of your comments on a live feed, and I will certainly never send you a friend request. Business pages cannot send friend requests, okay? So just sort of keep that in mind, okay? I know I harp on about it, but it is important, because if you do get sucked in and give me credit card details, then it's goodbye Fiji holiday. Alright, let me catch up with the comments. See, we've got already Jasmine Smith. Belinda, send me a friend request for your private and accurate reading. Hang on, let me just piss this fucktard off. Bye. So again, you know, you get them. There's not a lot I can do about them, unfortunately. I'm not going to sit here and delete all the comments. Now I've blocked her, it should pretty much get rid of them all. Alright, so just ignore Jasmine Smith. She should be gone now. Where did I want to go, Viv? Hey Viv, hi, I'm new. Oh, hi. Nice to have you. Please like my page. I'm new. My partner and I have separated a few days ago. Will he come back? Communication's definitely not finished, but I mean, that's kind of, I feel like, whenever someone's just split up. Yeah. I question whether, like, I wonder whether this is the first time that you guys have separated, and if it is the first time that you've separated, I'd imagine it's not the first time that you've nearly separated. I see an apology coming in, and I feel like, again, I've heard this apology before as well. I'll change. I know that this pisses you off, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it's interesting, because I always look at love from quite a unbiased viewpoint, is so to speak. Like, love isn't the end all and be all of life, you know. Happiness and self-fulfillment and all of those things, contentment, are literally just as important as well, which is what I mean by that. And so I kind of want to ask you the question of whether or not do you want him to come back, you know. And if you don't, just keep it that way. Honestly, you definitely have the energy and the connection here, but I do feel like there will be a go around again. Interestingly though, that as soon as I say that, I'm shown that it actually won't be a permanent one as well. So again, just really just consider what you need here in this situation, what is actually giving you, because if you do reconnect back in with this person, you will be sitting in this situation again not long after. Like, literally, I would say, you know, I could almost even say days, but it'll definitely be like weeks. And so yeah, if it's like boom boom, it's almost like something's trying to be let go of, but we're not ready to. So, you know, either do some serious work to fix it if that's what you want, or kind of let go. Yeah, I've said it several times on a live, and I'll say it again, you know, but sometimes the hand that we hold is the hand that holds you down. And there's a meme that goes around sometimes that shows a hand holding on a rope, you know, and that's what it's all. Sometimes holding on does more damage than actually letting go, you know. So just, you know, a little bit of food for thought that's there. You've definitely got an opportunity to clear some energy here. Be mindful of what it is that you want and what's actually going to serve you, okay? So I hope that helps. Yeah, just be mindful, Viv. As I said, there's going to need to be some work done here as well, you know what I mean, just like how we got to this point. And work's not a bad thing, you know, but both sides have to be willing to do it, and both sides have to be able to be fair and even as well. So, you know, I always say the heart needs what the heart needs to do, and so absolutely follow your desires and everything else, but look after yourself. And yeah, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, just remember it is a duck, okay? Alright, Carolyn. I would love a reading if drawn. Yes, when I see it, I'll just give you what I get. I don't know if it's relevant or not, if it's just popped into my head, but I get the song Que Sera Sera, and I see you dancing on a ship, like a cruise ship. Yeah, I can hear that song. But you're dressed, but you dress nicely, is what I was going to say. Not to suggest that when you're in a cruise you don't dress nicely. But anyway, that's what I was getting. I'll shuffle your cards, I'll leave that with you. Let me pull you some cards. Alright. Nice, so you've got the nothing changes if nothing changes, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. I was just talking about that, and the moving on card. So taking a chance, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I actually feel like this is about personal achievements and things like that around with you. I feel like there's an opportunity or something that's coming up that you can take advantage of that's actually going to either sort of take you a bit further or potentially give you a promotion. It's just that kind of energy that's there attached with it, okay? So just remember, kind of nothing changes if nothing changes. So if things are sitting stagnant around you, I feel like you've built up a nice level of skill around you for where you are, and that, you know, you can kind of sit back and do things with your hands tied behind your back, so to speak. Don't be afraid to kind of sit and categorise that in a way that's going to work to an advantage where you can actually ship the shore, okay? Because I do feel like, again, you're going to be rewarded and greatly pleased. If it looks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, quack, 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 it is a duck, okay? And so what I feel like that is for you right at this point in time is just a reminder that things aren't about to change, okay? What you've got right now as far as that work side of things and the career side of things is where it's sitting, but this movement that's coming into play will absolutely shift that for you, okay? So you've got the moving on card that's there as well, so moving towards better things. So yeah, honour thyself, you've earned it and you deserve it, and you've definitely got some opportunity there to go and kick some ass. So enjoy. Alright. So guys, I'm going to do 3 more readings before I conclude for this evening. I've got some serious packing that I need to go and do. And so just a reminder guys, that Sydney MBS is on from the 13th to the 16th of October. I am in stand C27. I am very excited to see all of you guys. Pre-bookings are open. I do have still a few spots left. I do not allow the day to be booked out with pre-bookings, so those that can arrive. So just sort of jump on if you are wanting to make a pre-booking. If you are coming Saturday, Sunday and just going to take a chance, if you're not there by 12, I strongly suggest that you do pre-book, because there's a good chance you will not get a reading, and the way that the event goes, sometimes that may be very well across the board, so just sort of keep that in mind guys. But other than that, it is a free event if you're looking for something to do over the next 4 days and those dates. You just need to download a ticket, but it costs you nothing to get in, and there's lots and lots to see, lots and lots to do, and lots of people to see up on stage. Alright, so let's have a looky. Danica. Danica, I want to say to you, okay, you've got the love card, you've got the frustration card, and you've got the external forces card. And when I sit with your cards, it just feels like a really nice clear-cut energy. You've got, for me, that love card that's there. I've got 2 love cards in this deck, and this one for me is about truth, happiness, and desire. Okay, and what that represented when I created that card is about having enough knowledge, self-awareness, truth, and integrity and commitment and everything else like that to the relationships around you, that you can trust in them. You know, you can trust yourself enough to know that you can trust what you see, and it's a positive energy that's there. But it's followed by the frustrations card and the external conflict card. You know, sometimes when we've got families and people with best intentions around us and things like that, problems can ensue that aren't necessarily to do with the relationship, but very much affect it. And so just sort of check in the order around with that. And if it's not a lover's connection that's there, just sort of check it in on, like, you know, your best friend and that sort of energy, because this does feel like a nice close relationship to you. All right, and it's almost like once we sort of see it and allow the bullshit to sort of step away with it, we actually get to what this relationship really is, and it's something really nice and strong. And so you get that new beginning energy that comes out of it. Okay, so it's time to kind of which either, you know, if it's you or if it's somebody else, I'm flicking people away from you. You know, that no longer serve a purpose. It's not about letting go of the people. I don't feel like that energy has to come up in any way, shape or form. But, you know, not everyone's advice is knowledgeable, and I always say, unless that person's done it themselves or is, you know, has a vast amount of experience in it, then advice is a beautiful thing that offers support. But, you know, always take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, and I just feel like you need to do a little bit more leaving and a little less resonating. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, so 2 more readings, guys. Please leave a thumbs up or a heart if you haven't already. Always appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm. If you haven't liked my Facebook page, please do so. That also is appreciated. It is an energy exchange, so when you ask somebody for something, it is customary and polite to do them the small favour of liking their page. My page. Freaking sake. I just clicked on something. Sorry. Had a notification. It beat me to the comments. Where am I? Let me catch up with the comments. You're welcome. Jodie, I've called your name a couple of times. Let me pull you a couple of cards. Any messages for me in the cards? Wow. I feel like you've got a lot going on around you at the moment, but it also feels like you're bossing through, so that's nice. Alright. All about clearing the energies tonight. You've got clearing out the stable, so out with the old and in with the new, and as you can see, they're piling out a big nice shovel of shit. So just kind of take that on board. Trust. The reason why I say take that on board, you've got the intuition card that's there, so trust your psychic senses, okay? And you've also got the improvements card, improvements of self and situations. And it's interesting, I feel like there's it's almost like, you know, sometimes we sit back and we go, oh, it's like we don't, I've got so much running through my head right now with you. It's like I'm kind of sitting back and I'm tidying up behind myself, you know what I mean? I'm seeing where, for some reason I feel I need to say, I'm checking where my bank accounts are, where I've got payments going out or expenses that are sitting there that I'm either not aware of or is not being done right. Like, it's like in bonus to me, you know what I mean? It's almost like there's an old gym membership from friggin' 20 years ago, you're not that old, you know what I mean? But like, that's been sitting there that I'm still paying for, or you know, some subscription that I had to some bloody thing, you know what I mean? It's pissy, but it's like I'm cleaning up energy that's there behind me, and organising myself. And a lot of that, given by the way that my head feels when I tune in with you, would definitely be internal as well. With that is clearing out the stables. As I said, I really feel like you are disconnected in with the old and in with the new, and what that actually serves you. So it's a nice energy. Trust your intuition, and you've got improvement there of self and situations. I just feel like I want to say to you, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You're like a bit like a bull in a china shop at the moment. Just be mindful of that, okay? I can be a little bit guilty of that as well, where we're like, our excitement, our enthusiasm, our passion can make us sort of come across as a bit bit strong and a bit bold, where that's absolutely not the case. We're actually like this, gentle, tender person, and that's probably the case sometimes too as well, and it's funny, it's come up in conversation a lot around. I always say those that form an opinion about me before they know me don't really, you can pretty much bet your balls that the opinion's off, because sometimes, as I said, the energy comes off, and enthusiasm and passion and everything else like that, and other times it's for other reasons as well. And don't get me wrong, I know for you as well as it is for me, it's by no means across the board, but it's something that comes up as I sit with your energy, so something that I'll share with you. So definitely keep doing what you're doing, but as I said, just sort of check in with yourself and make sure that your energy that you're projecting out is serving you moving forward, and that those that aren't necessarily sort of aligning with it in the right way, well, do they kind of need to be there anyway. Alright, so I hope that helps, and I'll leave that there with you. Alright, so last reading of the night, guys. So as I check out, just remember I am at MBS this weekend, including Thursday, Friday, Port Kembla the weekend after, which is always a nice big event, that one, and so I'll have more details up on my page around for that. The live feed will be on Monday next week as well. It was meant to be last night, but if you really want to know why it wasn't on last night, Sunday night I tried 3 new foods in one go, and so I don't know which one of them exactly was the one that was responsible, but I had a nice little food reaction and just felt like shit yesterday basically, so didn't have the energy to give you guys proper attention. So yeah, that was always fun. But anyway, alright, Naomi, I saw you first, so yes, you may be the lucky last. So guys, I do look forward to seeing you over at MBS. Please just even come past and say hello. I always appreciate that. And I will say, for those of you that are still lingering around, if you come past MBS as well, if you like my page and you let me know that you like my page, you'll be given a number at the end of the MBS event. All of those numbers will be put into a random number generator, and whoever pulls that out will be given a free 45-minute reading. So you have to see me at the MBS to do that. Show me that you like my page. And guys, for those of you that aren't going to MBS, there's going to be a very similar competition giveaway on the page the following week after there. So you don't have to be at MBS necessarily to have an opportunity to win in that as well, because I know not all of you are going to be there. So yeah, just keep in mind those 2 little things. I'd say there'll be a little sign up at MBS to remind you as well. So sweet as Naomi, let me focus on you. Naomi. I've been talking a little bit about shadow work this week. One, because it's come up for myself a little bit, and also because this has come up a little bit in clients as well. And that's the thing, as I was saying, you see, on the live feeds, where energy goes, energy flows, and it clusters. That's why there's a synchronicity sometimes in the readings. And so when I sit with your cards, you've got the letting go card that talks about releasing binds, things that are holding you back. You're breaking the chains, you're growing and flourishing. But in order to do that, we need to confront fears. We need to break the chains. There's a lot of break and change. You've got both the break and the chain cards around you that's there, and you've got the capability to do that, but I just feel like you need that that validation that what you're ready to do, you are ready to do. You've got the health card that's there, and again, it doesn't just talk about physical health. It's emotional health, spiritual health, mental health, all of those aspects of our holistic being. And so what I'm asking in that card that's there is to kind of ask you to pay attention to the choices and the decisions and the emotions that are around you right now. Are they serving you the greatest, and what are they actually impacting on when it comes to our health? And pay attention to that, because we think that things don't matter, but when they build up over a long time, they actually do. Not everyone around you is your friend, okay? Just be mindful. You've got the sheep in wolf's clothing, and I don't go off looking for stuff that's not there. Just trust what you see. Trust what you see. You've got the self-trust card that's there, okay, and you've also got the take a moment card that's there, which talks about just rest and gratitude are needed. And look, absolutely, it feels like there's a big journey ahead of you as far as just letting go and allowing yourself just to dance in the rain and paint yourself in colourful rainbow colours if that's what you want to do. It's quite a nice image that I see in my head. It makes me smile, but allow yourself that time. You've earned it, and you know, again, sometimes the hands that we hold are the ones that hold us down. So don't be afraid of letting go of those. Don't be afraid of feeling lonely for a little while. Okay, don't feel afraid of potentially facing a sense of isolation, because it is in that peace and in that silence that you will find yourself. And when you find yourself, you will also then find your vibe. When you find your vibe, you will find your tribe. Okay, so it's a process, but one that is well worth undertaking. So I'll leave that there with you. I hope that that helps, and thank you very much for joining me. So guys, that is me done for the evening. Yeah, I know, fantastic. It's been such a shitty year, honestly, if I am honest with you. It's been, not shitty, but like just massive. I had a lot happen all at once, and I can honestly say I didn't feel like this year started until January, and so I had to really kind of be mindful with my time and things like that. But the lives are back regularly, and I'm really excited about that, and you're going to see a lot more of that as well. So, yeah, it's a good energy, and it's nice to be back. So I appreciate you sticking around, and I appreciate all of you guys' support. It means a lot for me to be here, and it means a lot for me to be able to offer my services to you. So if I haven't caught you tonight, always catch me on the next one. You can always book a private reading, or you can always come and catch me at MBS. But until then, if you can't be good at it. Stay cool, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.